Welcome to Darcy Street as the champions enter the arena. A guard of honour, a classy touch there from all involved at South Hobart as the Devonport Strikers come out onto the pitch here, having been crowned champions a few weeks earlier. What a season they have had, the defending champions. They'll want to finish off on a high today and, of course, boost the goal tally of Miles Barnard. He starts the day 1 goal behind Matthew Sanders. And undoubtedly that will be a real focus for the Devonport Strikers today as they take on a young South Hobart team who wobbled a bit towards the end of the year, but certainly injuries taking their toll. We'll have a look at the teams in a second, but first a good afternoon to my co-commentator Paul Hunt.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Pleasure to be here as always for the final time in NPL season anyway here. Always pleasure to come to Darcy Street, and yeah, just looking at those players out there, they look exceptionally damp before a ball has even been kicked. It has been absolutely trucking it down here in Hobart over the last 24 hours, and drove in from the suburbs on the way here and spotted all the very, very cold and freezing players and parents out at Cornelia May, another associated grounds for the Hobart Cup, the junior tournament on at the moment. They looked decidedly cold and wet, so that hopefully a few of them tuning in from just down the road, but anticipating a very good game, first and third here today, and plenty of players who we might see tomorrow as well for the, even bigger game. This was obviously scheduled for the last round of the season, anticipating these two sides might be somewhere near the top and there might be something to play for, but Devonport have just been far, far too good this year, and I think they may sneakily be too good again today.
Yeah, I think they're running out a little bit stronger. They're just about to full strength. You see a few names missing from that South Hobart team. Very young lineup. Sam Berezanski, very impressive over the last couple of weeks. Jack Bowman playing the defence. Luke Farrell had a pretty good season in central midfield. Adam Gorry, another good year. Right, a rampaging fullback. Ben Hamlet probably dropped off a little bit later in the year, but an excellent season from the South Hobart striker. Toby Havainen has just gone from strength to strength. I think his best year in the NPL Taz this season, really established himself as one of the premier fullbacks in the comp, hence his selection in tomorrow's game. Kobe Kemp, he's just started since coming back. Hasn't played a lot of football this year, but hasn't lost at all. He's been fantastic over the last month. Bradley Lakaseljek might well be playing in attack today. We'll wait and see that. Led the line last week. Hugh Ludford returns to the defence. Sam Too's another one of those teenagers getting the start, and Graham Wright in net. Hallam, Sampson, Morton and Moncourt spot the odd man out in the age demographics there on the bench as we move on to the Devonport Strikers, and you can see a pretty full strength lineup just about, except for Dom Smith, who I dare say is not on the bench given he's sitting about 2 metres away from me, but Miles the Fox in the box. Barnard is the name all eyes will be on. Bidwell on the right wing and Fitzgerald on the left wing have been superb. Dance has had a really handy year dropping into midfield. We'll see where he plays today. Might be a fullback role. Todd Hingston, Leonidas is a real leader for the Mulroney, captaining that state team tomorrow. Park's been reliable in defence. Pitchford, of course, will also be in that team in defence. Stone, Syson and Reynolds. Could be a big night for Joel Stone, certainly one of the front runners for several of the awards this evening, as you see the subs. Fairly youthful. And we're underway here at a very damp Darcy Street. It is teeming down early, Paul.
I remember a couple of games ago we were here saying, we haven't quite had the horizontal rain that we get here sometimes in Darcy Street. Well, we spoke about 2 weeks too soon. It is pouring down here today, and I reckon there will be a few muddy shirts and a few showers before the awards night as Bidwell goes storming down the right flank. Fitzgerald wading towards the near post, but just out of the reach of Maxi Fitzgerald. Wright in a foot race with Stone. I think Stone's the only one winning that. Crosses the ball low, deflected, and Wright comfortably claims that one, but a good early show of attacking intent from the Strikers, as we talked about Dom Smith being on the bench but not on the bench. He certainly up here, so I doubt we'll see him. I think he's injured for the game tomorrow. Yes, he is. Good to see him making the trip down in any case, as Pitchford comes out of his box and volleys way high up in the sky. That one's going to fall out. Another person on the bench who's not on the bench yet, Mark Mulcair, who's just walking into the building.
I certainly think he'll hope he's not called into action there. Not sure what the backup plan would be should Graham Wright come down from injury. But,
especially would have been bad if he was injured in the warm-up. But luckily that didn't happen.
I'd back Huey Ludford to get in there. He's donned the gloves for the Dutchies in futsal before. I mean, that's about the high pressure situation to prepare yourself for a game like this.
I mean, stepping into your shoes, I mean, that's pretty big shoes to fill.
Absolutely, as this one comes to an actual proper goalkeeper, and Nathan Pitchford there. And looking forward to seeing him tomorrow. Could be tested a bit against an opposition like the Central Coast. Really looking forward to seeing what he can do at the next level. He's been such a good keeper for the past 2 years. There's an early chance here for Daniel Sison. Bombing in here at the back post. Gorry almost gets himself in all sorts of trouble. Gets back up. Still bobbing around. Barnard's lurking there, and eventually it's going to be brought back. That was absolute chaos.
Don't think that's Aaron Gorry's finest attempt at a clearance in his career. He's looked slightly unsure. It was a fantastic run from Sison. Bowman really thought he was offside. He wasn't. Fitzgerald slipped over. Gorry slipped over. Wright's air swung it. That is the definition of chaos. And Plomaritis there bailing him out. But now Bidwell. Barnard trying to get back on side. He's in range here. So's Sison, who's heavy touch. Took it away from Joel Stone, who was lurking behind him. And back to Mulroney, and they'll reset. There's a dance out at left back, I believe, here today. Haven't seen him play a great deal out there before. Stone intercepted by Kemp. Hamlet, who you mentioned before, Andrew, had a great, I'd say, middle of the season. Took a couple of games to warm up. Slightly warmed down a bit the last couple of games, but that middle patch of the season, particularly while South were making their Lacquer Seljet Cup run, he was in superb form at that crucial part of the season. It was Gorry take the throw. Berezanski quite controlling it under the weather. Seems to be Dogger Brown mainly in the technical area for South as well, again here this afternoon.
Yeah, 2 week suspension for Ken Morton. He got one for an accumulation of yellows and one for the extra week that he got for the second one in that game. So he'll be back on the touchline tomorrow, though, for Tasmania as part of that all-star coaching staff. Headed away by Adam Gorry to Berezanski. Been impressed with his last couple of weeks. Just seemed to be tiring a little bit, but has really come on strong towards the end here. That's a teasing ball that Mulroney in the end deals with fairly well. It was a little ungainly, but I think we'll see plenty of that in these conditions. Very, very slippery out there for all comers. And the surface, it'll be interesting to see how much damage they do to it out of tomorrow's game. It's probably one of the interesting points to keep note of. Barnard was making a run in behind. Bowman just stepping in. Wouldn't expect much tracking back from the Fox in the box today. I think he'll just be perching himself up top and saying, feed me. And he'll see if he can catch Matty Sanders, of course. 1 goal ahead and playing Riverside at KG5 as Kobe Kemp with a delightful ball to Adam Gorry. Steers it well over all comers, and in the end, Havinen bombing on, able to track it down. Trying to take on Park. Bidwell comes in support. And Bidwell just drops it straight off to Lacquer Seljet. Here's Luke Farrell in the bullseye to Bowman. The Archer swinging it forward there to Berezanski. Cut out. Couple slide in. Falls to Farrell. Lovely ball to Gorry. Gorry across. Well headed away by Reynolds. Down to it, South. Some balls into the area here as Ludford just looking to tunnel the Fox. The old Warhorse, to experienced customers going up against each other there.
Good practice for Ludford as well with the probable matchup against Matt Simon tomorrow. Very similar styles, Miles the Fox in the box Barnard and Matty Simon of the Central Coast Mariners. I'd probably rather Miles Barnard's scoring record, but it's good practice for him as Hingston can't quite get that one forward. Comes off like a Seljack. It seems like it's reverted to left side midfield here today, or in the centre of the park. As you mentioned, we did see him up front last week. It was a bit unfamiliar. It's Reynolds. Plays this one back to Pitchford. Taking his time. There is Pitchford. He would have played in a few games similar ground conditions and weather conditions over the past few seasons. Obviously formerly of Newtown Eagles. Clare Street gets way more of a bog than Darcy Street is here this afternoon throughout winter. There's Stone, who from this angle looks like he's had a fresh haircut ready for tonight, and the possible photos and acclaim that might be coming his way.
I bet he has.
It just looks a bit sharper than other times I've seen it in the last few weeks.
Just salad maintenance on the Friday afternoon is certainly there, I reckon, for Joel Stone.
There's Gorry going for a bit of salad maintenance himself, going down the wing. Hamlet making a good near post run, and that's the direction he goes. Onside is Hamlet shooting, but just scuffs the shot off the heel. It may just stay in, not quite. Just going in for a nice water slide at the back post. There's the runs that Hamlet is known for. Loves a near post run. Does Hamlet often also shoots towards the near post on that occasion. There's Pitchford taking his time for the goal kick. Oh, it's a loose back pass there from Dance. Charged down by Berezanski, but it'll fall to Pitchford. Park looking to stride forward. Two's getting some body on at the end. Reynolds, Bidwell making a good run up ahead, but Hamlet, I thought, got a toe in legally, but must have got a bit of Raph Reynolds. He'll either take the free kick or end up going up for a header. Seems like he'll be the taker, one of the few number 9 centre-backs that I see. Not a big fan, but he's got the talent to overcome that.
I suppose at least he's got some offensive playmaking abilities, as we see over the dead ball here, but a little unconventional from Raph Reynolds, rocking the number 9. So their number 9, donning the number 23, is Adam Gorry away from Todd Hingston. A particularly good touch there from Havainen. Reynolds goes around him, and Eddie Bidwell on the outside. He's being really careful with their footwork here. The tread on the ground, not great. A lot of people, just to see Bidwell going down again, just really struggling to keep their feet. It's affecting the pace of the game a little. A little bit of hesitating before getting the ball. Bidwell with a chance to cross here, though. Over the head of Barnard. Fitzgerald back towards him. But straight into the hands of Graham Wright.
It's very good that Darcy Street hasn't seen any other football so far today, I don't believe. Otherwise, it would be a complete bog by the end of this one. It won't quite be what Valley Road has turned into on occasion. But it's going to be very slippery and probably suits Devonport. We saw in the rain South come undone up at Devonport during the middle of the season. On the face of it, it will suit the more experienced strikers as the Archer Bowman strides forward. Lofts one to the chest of Adam Gorry. There's Berezanski, but goes to switch towards twos. Park will have the aerial advantage there. Now Hingston wanted to switch the play. And Dance back to the keeper. Put under pressure by Hamlet. Gorry beating out Max Fitzgerald. Mike Farrell with a hopeful punt forward. And all of them seemed to skid on to start with and then held up towards the end there. It's Pitchford gets us back underway. Dance just thought he left that a little short and does end up with Kobe Kemp. Farrell back out to the overlapping Havainen. Trying to get around Park and in the end just falls straight to the ground. Toby Havainen. It's a real symptom of what the first 10 minutes has been like so far. Farrell managing to keep it in. And this time Reynolds will be able to mop up.
Canadian across to his partner in crime at the back. Mulroney's been the constant in the heart of the strikers' defence. Guillermo Lascano, the Spaniard, the first half of the season was in there as they've turned it over here. South Hobart, and Berezanski's in. He cuts on to his left foot, back to Hamlet. Surrounded here is Hamlet. He skips free and it's easily dealt with by Kieran Mulroney, steering it behind for the corner. An outstanding year he's had and deservingly rewarded with the captaincy of Tasmania tomorrow. And such a great leader for his side. And had some good support to deal with the threat of Hamlet on this occasion. Much of a threat from there. Gorry swing in the corner, been a lively creator again from the wing this year, and that's a great hit into the top corner from Kobe Kemp. That is absolute genius from Kemp. A brilliantly rehearsed corner routine and finished in style. Pick that one out.
Can I add that to number 11 for NPL Tas Goal of the Year voting? I know it shuts at 5 o'clock, but that is superb from Kobe Kemp. The alternate corner routine comes off, just hits the first time, skidding surface, top bins, over Pitchford, over the defender on the line. Kobe Kemp, that is outstanding. That's the kind of skill he possesses, Kobe Kemp. Obviously, we didn't see him at the start of the season moving away, but since he's come back, I think his play has earned a wonder goal like that he has in his lockup. And he's come up trumps. He is fantastic as Hingston. And trying to put the strikers back on level terms. Fitzgerald, they have called it for handball eventually. Bit too much of the arm there. I discuss natural and unnatural positions, but my head is completely confused about what on earth all that means these days.
Further confused, in fact, by the fact we're still playing under the old rules for... this is it.
Last one. I've got to switch over at midnight. It's like daylight savings. You just flick it over at night for tomorrow's game, which will be under the new rules, which is also the Premier League rules, if you've been watching that, or the Women's World Cup.
Flip your rule book over.
The Stone.
So we'll be in operation for the Tasmania Central Coast game tomorrow.
Yes. We've both had a briefing on it, and I'll be honest, I'm just more confused than I was before I went into it. But anyway, we'll do our best.
Yeah, here's a chance for Barnard. Dodgy back pass potential there as he was lurking. So the early weeks of the English Premier League have not really cleared things up on those new rules overly well.
No, not at all.
I'm not convinced it's an improvement on what we had.
No. Oh, especially handball. It's. I mean, we saw it in the Women's World Cup where they then decided to amend it on the fly, which was grossly unfair to the people playing. And then this Premier League season has made it even more confusing. Especially Man City Tottenham in that game where it just handballed and it was attached to his arm, but then it led to a goal, so it was an accident. Yeah.
We digress. This one's chipped forward over the top by twos.
Just getting all our excuses in a day early.
Yeah, just laying the groundwork. Well, the Strikers going to need to lift a little here if they're going to fire the Fox in the box to a golden boot. Haven't looked particularly likely in the early going here. I think a few players may well play within themselves a little bit with that state game tomorrow. We've already seen the initial squad at 26. Didn't really need a cutting down phase because 4 people got injured. Already down to 22. The coach's job done for them.
Yeah, saw that and saw there were going to be 4 taken out, and I was struggling to think which 4 you'd take out. It'd be very much, they're all in form and about the best 26 possible. And yeah, made it a little easier for them. No one else drafted in, I don't believe. Despite the injuries, as that's a clear foul on Dance. They're 22. I'm going to assume if they change everyone at half time and then someone gets injured in the second half, they can bring on someone else.
That's a very good point. I would assume so.
I hope someone had thought of that already.
Well, I'd have thought any kind of rules where you're making 11 substitutions at half time is more of an interchange format than subs anyway.
That's true.
Obviously with games today and the All's night tonight, player welfare first and foremost. Eddie Bidwell puts the cross in. Ludford should be able to deal with it. Although a little untidy and gives the Strikers a throw in a pretty good spot here.
Connor Park will stride forward from right back. And eventually get there for the throw-in. Seems like it's short to Bidwell. Park gets his head up on the unfamiliar left. It does go in the Fitzgerald direction. He wins the header, goes for Stone, who just scuffs his shot harmlessly wide for a goal kick. Obviously, Joel Stone, one of the players actually in the running. The NPL Tas goal of the year. Voting for that closes at 5 o'clock, I believe.
5 o'clock, I will just clip whoever's in the lead and just chuck that little video onto the end of another one. Bang, settled.
It's almost like you're good at your job, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by that after the last 24 hours.
I am.
Fair bit going on in football scene here this weekend. Of course, we've got the game tomorrow we've been prattling on about incessantly. The Hobart Youth Cup as Adam Gorry's coming on. Club mergers, appeals. It's been a big week in football. That's some tidy work from Berezanski. Gets past a couple. and then overhits everybody. The hard work, and then couldn't produce the ball of quality. All the way for Bidwell. Couldn't quite trap that one. For Earl.
Has been a big week. You forgot the large amount of memes being posted as well. A very important factor in how busy this week's been.
Well, I did. I worried for Eddie Bidwell's fitness ahead of this game, to be honest, because I absolutely suspect 80% of them are him.
Yeah.
He's the NPL's resident meme lord.
Well, would he be the first player ever ruled out for RSI?
It's a distinct
Just
possibility.
making too many memes.
Distinct possibility. And in Feinfeld on that page this week is the Strikers with the throw in here, trying to get going. What a season they've had, the Devonport Strikers. The likes of Holden, Bo Blizzard, all in the team of the year last year. We're going to take some replacing, but Fitzgerald, Barnard, Sison, Kingston, well, truly done that. South Hobart on the attack here for the time being, though, through Berezanski, just a little heavy with the touch. And they've just kept on keeping on. Eddie Bidwell reinvented as the right winger. It's been a masterful job from Rick Coughlin. And of course, they've got the National Final Series game to prepare for too. It's the Maitland Magpies coming up.
Have we confirmed whether Barnard's not got a holiday to Bali booked this year?
I'll tell you what, the Advocates' finest the man to ask that.
Devonport Creek Club member.
Because I believe that's the reason he didn't play last year, because they had kind of West up front instead of the Fox in the box.
Yeah, that was very much correct. I do recall that now.
I do remember him shooting in as well. So I think everyone at Devonport had given him stick about pre-booking that. I hope he hasn't booked any October holidays or September holidays this year.
I think the Strikers, they know that you can't be booking anything in September these days. The way this club's been rolling, they've got to expect to be playing in National Final Series. Power club of the recent years. Joel Stone whipping one in, comfortably collected by Graham Wright.
Slide.
Adam Gorry sold him down the river a little. Like a celiac, turns it straight over to Joel Stone, who turns and cuts through the middle. Dancing on the ball in his customary fashion, then just ding one over the top. Just gathered by Wright.
Eyes lit up there from what we like to call Joffrey and Koso territory. Yeah, 35-yarder here during the Micah Selchuk Cup early rounds. Stone wanted a piece of that action there too for the moment. Kingston not on the wavelength with Stone, and then clips Kemp after the ball. Berezanski doesn't manage to get an advantage, so pulled back for the initial foul. And there's Strikers travelling up to Maitland. Maitland Magpies is a great name for alliteration, don't mind that. The winners of the Northern New South Wales Championship. And Kemp lofts one to the penalty spot. Cleared by Mulraney. Farrell gets it out to Gorry, who's got time to size up across. Goes towards the back post, and Pitchford manages to clear that one away. Now, Bidwell beaten off it on the far side, but gets it back. Park back to Pitchford. He'll do well to switch it here, and does. Dance. I think he's just about managed to split his teammates, but Stone still on it. Stone, lovely bit of skill just to send Farrell down the river. Lovely bit of skill there from Joel Stone.
He's just been pulling this kind of stuff all season. Just turns Farrell. Just the trickery, the wizardry on the ball of Joel Stone this year has been absolutely phenomenal. Certainly been enjoying watching him this season, as Barnard can't quite get on the end of that one. Graham Wright throws it straight to the back of the skull there of Eddie Bidwell. Immediately gets back up and starts harassing Havainen.
And we've had a couple of hilarious own goals in NPL history of keepers whacking in the back of players in front of them, and I had flashbacks there. That may be occurring again.
Yeah, well, we had there was the Luigi Cordova throw, and the Smith, and once this is a kick straight into the back, and that was against South Hobart. So, but yeah, two of the genuinely most hilarious moments in Tasmanian football history right there.
Yeah, I'd admit I'd forgotten about the throw one. I was thinking of the kick one of Wakiko just whacking it into the back of the person 5 metres in front of him and going in.
I'll never forget the called overthrow because it got over 1 million views by the time all the betting agencies shared it around the world.
The pre-Giansopoulos million share video.
That was the original viral king before Nicky G came along and knocked him off his throne with his shenanigans at this ground last year.
Oh, I was disappointed a 1 year memory post wasn't done out for that on Facebook. That was absolute gold. It was Barnard as the rain somehow managing to get heavier here at Darcy Street. Right. Hasn't had a great deal to do so far this afternoon. One scramble inside his 6-yard box. Everything else has been pretty comfortable. There's Bowman sizing up an option. Didn't start the year as one of the first choice centre backs, did Jack Bowman. Oscar Thomas occupying that spot next to Ludford, but he's done really, really well and he's thoroughly earned that spot this year.
Goal alert at KG5.
Dun, 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 dun.
Neil Sants to score for Riverside. Riverside 1-0 up over the Hobart Zebras.
I cheekily had Riverside to win that game when I saw the fixture list this morning. I'll tell you why in a sec, as Berezanski whips one in the box. Hamlet went the bicycle. Stone has the slide clearance. Ludford passes to no one in particular. Riverside were really good against Zebras when they played against them at KG5. It'd be close to 2 months ago now. Chris Wademan scored a belter from about 40 out, and defensively they were really, really good. Similar to what we saw the other weekend here when they played South. Really disciplined and a really promising side, especially this last 6 weeks, Riverside. Been really impressed with what they've done in the back half. Getting some import help like Neil Sands obviously helps. And really enjoy playing on the artificial surface, as I heard when we were here the other week he'd never played on grass before till he turned up in Tasmania.
Yeah, they've been a good story, Riverside, this year. Found their feet at this level as the year's gone on, and the last couple of months have been pretty competitive in most of their games, picked up some points, and yeah, certainly if they could score an upset win over the Zebras on the final day, that would be a real mark for them, as Raphael's just lunging in there. Well, he penalised. No, it's going the other way against twos. Perhaps coming back for that push, yeah. An advantage. Probably bailing out Raph Reynolds in the end. A little bit late on that one.
Well, Raph Reynolds managed to make a pass. Bidwell was in an acre of space and onside, so certainly bailed out. Stone is commenting that Hamlet is not 10 yards away from that one. He lofts it centrally. Barnard flicks it on. Go past the post of Graham Wright, who I was giving him the benefit of the doubt that he knew what he was doing there, but maybe didn't quite have his angles covered as well as I previously thought.
Yeah, similar to one he scored against Olympia in that big win when he got his hat-trick, when it just seemed almost in slow motion to just nestle in the back corner. I thought we were going to have a repeat of that here, but not to be, and the Golden Boost race remains. One goal in favour of Matthew Sanders. He's also got approximately 14 minutes up his sleeve too. This game kicking off slightly earlier than the others to accommodate the Central Coast Mariners training session. And I think given the title set as Ben Hamlet couldn't quite find a teammate in the middle. It was a dangerous little run he'd made though. South putting in an improved performance on what they've offered in the past couple of weeks. The Knights just a little bit flat for mine, but the Central Coast game on Tuesday themselves, they want to pick back up. I think Bidwell is offside here. And he knew it. And he's frustrated. That's his...
He's a yard onside.
He's miles onside.
Oh, I had my thumb up then, given that's the okay. He was a yard onside.
Yeah, so I think Barnard's frustration with the AR quite well founded. He's a good yard on that.
Also happens that it's right in front of us here in the grandstand. Always like it when that's the case. It's right, and Ludford exchange passes. Mulraney. Out to Reynolds. Stone wants to try and find an option up ahead. Charging forward is Joel Stone. Has Fitzgerald on his outside. Goes the inside ball. Gorry snaps it out. Fitzgerald. Barnard. Fitzgerald still going. Max Fitzgerald calls for a penalty. Not given. He's handballed it there. He's in front of it. Wright's all over him. What is going on? And eventually Ludford manages to clear it. I mean, that is a spooning of Fitzgerald there by Graham Wright. He's just gone full big spoon on him as Reynolds still going with the nutmeg. Hingston back out to there. We've got to clip that and show that at awards night tonight for everyone who hasn't seen that. Berezansky.
I'm not sure exactly what that was.
Berezansky still going down the sideline. Jinking past Sison. Goes towards the back post. Oh, that's not the greatest clearance. Twos off the head of Park. Kemp going for the spectacular number 2. Reynolds. Both sliding in. Reynolds comes up top. Now Stone. Managing to somehow pirouette on the ball. Twos. Dance. Finally clearing it out of play. I think South are going to take this quickly. That was the most hilarious 20 seconds in NPL I've watched this year. No idea what that was. It was Kemp. Stone. Now Hingston. Going to play their way out from the back. The strikers. Sison. Turn it over, and Laka Seljuk, we haven't seen on the ball a great deal in the opening 27 minutes. This time getting space on the right flank. 2 to aim for. Going towards the back post was Hamlet. Over his head. Evainen once again keeping it in. Doesn't beat the first defender in Bidwell. It's a really, really open game here this afternoon. Either side looking to sit back. There's Kemp to Gorry. Hamlet again with a familiar run. Twos. Gorry. Going all the way back to Graham Wright. Taking a moment before heaving it forward. Hingston. Sison. Lovely flick towards Stone. I don't think he was quite expecting Sison to pull that trick off there, to be honest. As Pitchford heaves it down the field. Ludford. And the defences of both sides probably 50 yards apart here at the moment. There is not much midfield going on. As Barnard staying onside is no again.
He's definitely
that time
off. He knew it that time too. Let's have a look at this. Absolute scenes. Fitzgerald going through. I think he gets a push from Kemp there. Probably deserves a penalty. He's just got it lying on the ball. And how that is played, I don't know. Make a decision one way, please.
It's either Fitzgerald handballed it or Wright has got in the way and stopped him.
Yes. Anyway, one of the stranger moments of the season right there. The NPL Tasmania continuing to deliver right up till its final moments. We might not have a title race, but we got the shenanigans. As that was a
One towards the back post, a sea of yellow. It'll fall to Hamlet, who shoots, and another great save from Pitchford. 2 in a minute for one of Tasmania's representatives. And urging his teammates on, he's really keeping them in the game at the moment.
There's something about Darcy Street and Nathan Pitchford seems to bring the best out of him, but again, showing his absolute supreme goalkeeping abilities here. He's Tasmania's number one. Another big save there. 2 in a minute, and South pushing hard for a second goal here. They've been pretty good value for their lead as this one's swung into the mixer, and again, Pitchford confidently collecting. So, a similar story in the last game at Darcy Street. South Hobart creating good chances, but taking them is another matter when this man's in the opposing net.
As he's just kicked that one straight to his opposite number, Graham Wright. I don't think Barnard really fancied chasing that fast ball through the channel. And he's done well to put enough pressure on Bowman to cause a mistake. Dance. Leaving this one down the line for Fitzgerald to chase. He takes the inside line. Right, have to hit it first time, which he does. Dance. And offside, I think, is Fitzgerald, and that's probably a foul for a push in the back as well. Not terribly happy about that decision, Maxie Fitzgerald. I didn't think the ball was rolling there. I thought they took that one quickly on a still start, but clearly not in the eyes of the referee. Again, just does the exact same thing again, and then heaves it fresh into the grandstand. A waste of 30 seconds there. Ball put back in play quickly. Bidwell tried to get it to Barnard. Farrell mopping up as he does. Warhorse Ludford spying the run of Berezanski, trying to turn around Park, but it's come off his back. Tried to go the nutmeg. Twos. I thought Pitchford was off his line. In the end, a comfortable collect. Pitchford. Hingston. As far as Reynolds. Vinen for South. Reynolds pushing on here for the moment, but it's Stone just trying to roll past Kemp and slide one through to Bidwell, who's come onto the grandstand side, cleared by Bowman. Seems like Reynolds is staying forward as well for the moment. Devonport searching for an equaliser with 10 minutes left. Dance. Direct his teammates. Stone. Trying to cross it in is Dance. Wanted it on the right peg though. Bidwell. Near post. Bowman comfortably clears. Hamlet turns around Reynolds and runs to the defence. Hamlet. 3 for South. 4 for Devonport. Tries to get it to Twos. And Twos hits it first time. Taking a deflection off Mulroney. And another corner for South Hobart. See if they have any more tricks up their sleeve from the corner. Kobe Kemp doing that thing where he's pretending not to walk forward and ask for it at the top of the box. I think Stone is alert to any danger if that happens. Lee. Gorry to take. Rising up high, 2 South Hobart players in there. Maybe got in each other's way slightly. Back out to Kemp. Bowman. Gorry is available, but goes the other side. Vinen does well to keep it in. And then misplaced pass straight for Bidwell. I just want to whack it out of there. Sison couldn't quite get the ball under his feet, and Twos intercepts. Mulroney manages to clear. Neither side stringing more than 2 or 3 passes together at a time here at the moment. Hingston. Bidwell. Fortunately, no one there from the salad artist. And Wright makes it downfield. Dance does well to clear, but really South Hobart starting to turn the screw here at the moment. Stone can't quite win the header. Like a Seljack. Now to Kobe Kemp, who's in shooting range. Kobe Kemp. And bobbling one just in front of Pitchford. Had to make sure his body was behind it. That'll go down as another shot on target for South. And another save for Pitchford. Now Kemp again spots him off his line. And Pitchford jogging back to comfortably collect. Mulroney. Dance. Hingston is used to weather like this as Todd Hingston. Would have played a few wet games at Valley Road and NTCA ground in his time. Vinan. Down to Hamlet. Mulroney's had an air swing. And Dance bails him out on that occasion. See South Hobart's youthful bench trying to keep warm in the rainy conditions. Gorry doesn't have a great deal to aim for down here in the corner. Twos. I thought that was a Devonport throw. We'll go back to Gorry. Now has even less options to aim for. Kemp. Someone's who he finds. Goes to look away pass. Just does well to whack it clear as far as Barnard. Good hold up play from the big man. Lays in Park. Fitzgerald, not really any chance of getting that one. I don't know if it's the season ending or the weather, but this has probably been the most lacklustre I've seen Devonport this year.
Yeah, just a little bit flat. Obviously, what a heap to play for. I mean, they're talking about wanting to finish the season on a high, but realistically, they've got a lot of players out there who are playing in a state team game tomorrow. They've wrapped up the title. They've got Maitland in a week. You'd hate to cop an injury and miss out on what could be one of the bigger weeks in the club's history. So, certainly can understand that. So hopefully they can spark a little more as it goes along. Berezanski's offside here. Park defended it really well anyway, so protest all you like, he'd hate the tackle.
Also like how he managed to appeal for it halfway and then still defend that well.
He's done very nicely there, Connor Park. He's around the ground, still 1-0 at KG5, so no movement in the Golden Boot race. And Kingborough and Olympia with 1-0 leads in their fixtures against Glenorchy Knights and Launceston, respectively, in this final day of the season. So no movement at the top of the goal scoring charts, which is really a major thing to play for here today. City could have potentially leapt up into 6th over Kingborough. Apart from that, no one can move. Hamlet just needs to watch himself here. Don't do anything silly. I think he realised that midway through and just wound it back down a bit. A little bit of a kick there from Dance and
the instant
taking
rage
exception and pulling him back there and hang on, I'm going to get myself in trouble there.
Still won the free kick for his side though. Gorry takes probably shape on the ball, but well cleared by the strikers. Stone went for the nutmeg on Kemp. To no avail. And now Farrell. High, not terribly handsome. Out for a corner kick. 4 minutes left in this first half. South Hobart with the better of the play throughout. Pitchford deciding he's going to heave this one. Eventually humps it in the Barnard direction. Wins the flick on. Syson is going to try and chase after this one. A lovely little nutmeg pass on Adam Gorry. Bidwell. Barnard finally in the box. It's the Fox. Couldn't quite get his shot away. The first even half chance of a sniff he's had so far. Was well shut down as Berezanski still going now. Hamlet just let it behind him. Reynolds to Stone. He wanted a bit more shape on that one towards Bidwell. Now be Gorry. And Kemp. That one gone closer to the bench. And finally someone out there saying you've got a lift. It's been pedestrian at best the last couple of minutes here at Darcy Street.
It has been A little bit flat.
Really, since the Graham Wright and Max Fitzgerald hilarity.
Still had one of the goals of the season scored at least, though, so can't complain about that. Kobe Kemp might complain about no free kick there, though. Play continues. One back by Farrell, just buffering Bidwell off it. Twos. Cops it up to Reynolds, but he gave it on the outside to Gorry. Hamlet giving chase, but alert to the threat was Pitchford. Just a little stab pass there from Kemp. Twos first time to the overlapping Gorry. Charging on is Darcy Street's favourite ringer, and he picks out Berezanski. Berezanski turning. Lays it back to Kemp and just rather broadcast that a little to Sison. And you mix it up a little. Can't go the long-range Kemp shot every time, even though it is such a tremendous weapon. It's Park. Sees it out of play. So about 90 seconds left in the first half here. South Hobart 1 to the good. Well and truly good value for it. Stunning goal from Kobe Kemp. They have had the better of this first half in pretty abysmal conditions at Darcy Street. Vinan couldn't get past Hingston. They're going to get a free kick here though, South. Sorry, Devonport. Coming Park down on his haunches.
I had the pole in my way.
Stops to defer to Pitchford, who's going to scramble to get back on his line here with Hamlet buzzing about. Well, Rainey, that took several very ominous bobbles there for Pitchford. Made it tough for him. Did pretty well in the end. The striker's number one. Intercepted by Rafa Reynolds.
Pitchford just gone back and put that divot down as well after that, because we had the perfect view of a giant divot that ball was going over. As Bidwell can't get the return pass. Right. Thumps it downfield. Going to go the way of the home side. Gorry. Throw it back in. Can't imagine there'll be a huge amount of stoppage time. Nothing unusual has occurred that would cause any time to be added on. Certainly stuff that's happened that's unusual. It's Barnard. And just to win the free kick off Bowman. And everyone to the right-hand side of me disagrees, and everyone to the left of me, which is Devonport, is cracking up with laughter. Rocket Rod Andrews is cracking up laughing at that decision.
Yeah, I think he appreciates it. Might have got a little fortunate with that one. Anyway, them's the breaks, and it does give Miles Barnard an opportunity. There has been another goal at KG5.
Dun, 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 dun.
To Riverside, they're 2 to the good, Aaron Campbell. So, no threat from Sanders over there. His team struggling, but so too are the strikers. However, we've seen many a set-piece goal from the Stone Barnard combi this year. That's exactly where he headed. He just got a little too much on it and then didn't quite push it back out.
And I think Stratos Pomeridis is about to blow for half-time, and he does. South going 1-0 to the good thanks to an absolute loyalty from Kobe Kemp. You're going to have a goal to put your side in front. It does not get much better than that. We'll have a look at that. It was real, the one moment of magic in a pretty damp first half. That is a fantastic shot from Kobe Kemp. He probably wishes he shot that in the last 3 or 4 weeks, so it could have been in contention for goal of the year, because that was a stunner. Since then, South have had 2 or 3 half chances. Devonport maybe one. We've had some hilarity, people slipping and sliding everywhere, and it should be an interesting second half, Andrew.
It should indeed. We'll be back in around about 10 minutes' time with that one for you. The final 45 minutes of South Hobart and Devonport's NPL campaigns. We'll have the conclusion for you shortly. Don't go away. Looking forward to seeing what he can do at the next level. He's been such a good keeper for the past 2 years. There's an early chance here for Daniel Sison. Bombing in here at the back post. Oh, Gorry almost gets himself in all sorts of trouble. Gets back up. Still bobbing around. Barnard's lurking there in a couple of weeks. Just seem to be tiring a little bit, but has really come on strong towards the end here. That's a teasing ball that Mulroney in the end deals with fairly well. It was a little ungainly.
Going down the wing. Hamlet making a good near post run, and that's the direction he goes. Onside is Hamlet shooting, but just scuffs the shot off the heel. It may just stay in, not quite. Getting some body on at the end. Reynolds, Bidwell making a good run up ahead, but Hamlet, I thought, got a toe in legally, but must have got a bit
a little bit of hesitating before getting the ball. Bidwell with a chance to cross here, though. Over the head of Barnard. Fitzgerald back towards him. And straight into the hands. Garno, the Spaniard, the first half of the season was in there as they've turned it over here. South Hobart, and Berezanski's in. He cuts on to his left foot, back to Hamlet. Surrounded here is Hamlet. He skips free, and it's easily dealt with by Kieran Mull. Swing in the corner, been a lively creator again from the wing this year, and that's a great hit into the top corner from Kobe Kemp. That is absolute genius from Kemp. A brilliantly rehearsed.
Gets his head up on the unfamiliar left. It does go in the Fitzgerald direction. He wins the header, goes for Stone, who just scuffs his shot. Harmlessly, a piece of that action there too for the moment. Ingston not on the wavelength with Stone, and then clips Kemp after the ball. Berezanski doesn't just about manage to split his teammates, but Stone still on it. Stone, lovely bit of skill just to send Farrell down the river. Decided to win that game when I saw the fixture list this morning. I'll tell you why in a sec, as Berezanski whips one in the box. Hamlet went the bicycle. Stone has the slide.
The game's picked up some points, and yeah, certainly if they could score an upset win over the Zebras on the final day, that would be a real mark for them as Raphael.
It is not 10 yards away from that one. He lofts it centrally. Barnard flicks it on. Go past the post of Graham Wright.
A little bit flat for mine, but the Central Coast game on Tuesday themselves, they want to pick back up. I think Bidwell is offside here. And they knew it.
There's the inside ball. Gorry snaps it out. Fitzgerald. Barnard. Fitzgerald still going back. Fitzgerald calls for a penalty. Not given. He's handballed it there. He's in front of it. Wright's all over him. What is going on? And eventually Ludford manages to... Sison goes towards the back post. Oh, that's not the greatest clearance. Twos off the head of Park. Kemp going for the spectacular number 2. Sea of yellow. It'll fall to Hamlet, who shoots, and another great save from Pitchford. 2 in a minute for one of Tasmania's representatives. 3 for South, 4 for Devonport. Tries to get it to twos. And twos hits it first time, taking a deflection off Mulroney. And another call like a Seljack. Now to Kobe Kemp, who's in shooting range. Kobe Kemp. And bobbling one just in front of Pitchford. Had to make sure his body...
Understand that. So hopefully they can spark a little more as it goes along. Berezanski's offside here. Park defended it really well anyway, so here today. City could have potentially leapt up into 6th over Kingborough. Apart from that, no one can move.
Shot from outside the box. Tried to stop walking it in. It's a different food, I think.
There you go, Nick.
Decided that second half, he just turned over to the school.
Frankly, now about 12 years ago, had this season. Last year was 73. They won it. I didn't say that. I said Frank.
He'll back in this job. No.
The advantage you get to lose in the season trip. Well, just go straight from the bloody club out to the George got away with it, eh?
Now we think of that. Outside the box. Just trying to let the balls at least. At the least. What's going on? The water getting inside
You don't know who it's for.
There were like little piles of leather, yeah, 3 nails, and the ref would come up with a file down his sock. Everyone started off by doing this. It's checked. File down any nails.
Back for the second half here at Darcy Street. The final 45 minutes of the NPL Tasmania season for the champions Devonport and third placed South Hobart. It is the side in third, holding sway at the moment though. A stunning goal from Kobe Kemp has them a goal to the good. Miles Barnard still one behind Matthew Sanders in the Golden Boot race. And we're just about ready for kick-off here. We'll see how much they can chop this pitch up ahead of the big Mariners game tomorrow. I remember Peter Saville talking about the FFA cap draw, and if you ever got Melbourne victory, geese tractor out there and go across it. Well, let's see if a few of the players can mimic that. Joel Stone, lovely little ball, and Sison hitting it first time. Straight down the throat of right, but a brighter start here and some good intent from the strikers.
Yeah, good idea from the strikers. Good to see Sison getting in a more advanced role as the long ball over the top should skid on to Nathan Pitchford. But yeah, I think that's the thing all neutrals are hoping for is just no rash divot taking out slide challenges here in this second half. And as much as I love a good slide challenge, I do want a good exhibition of football tomorrow. A little bit more as Stone wondering how to get himself out of that area. He somehow managed to do it, as he usually does. Kemp with the first time ball. Cut out by Reynolds. He's put a bit too much sauce on that one, and Graham Wright will come to collect. And goal scorer from the first half, Kemp. Fitzgerald almost jumping out of the way of intercepting that one. Gorry. Good slide challenge from Reynolds, and eventually whacked clear by Mulroney. Now it's South Hobart's favourite ranger to throw it in. Dance. Trying to wait for that one to go out, and I think he's only going to win a throw in. Good work there from young Sam Toos. Another one of South Hobart's youngsters who's either broken into or been on the fringe of the first team so far this year. Dance. With the throw. Kemp. Cleared that one straight back out of play. And we will, over the course of this half, keep you updated with all the goals around the ground. The near simultaneous kickoffs here this afternoon. And that Golden Boot race as well.
Ooh.
Between Sanders and Barnard, and we have an ooh.
Yeah, we have a 2-1.
How long do I need to keep the music going for? But anyway, we'll get back to that in a minute as Bidwell is striding forward down the right flank like a Seljack behind him. Tries the ball towards Barnard. Cleared by young Lacka Seljack. Havainen. Mulroney thumps it clear, and if you have the goal scorer, we will have it.
Adam McEwen. So, still, it remains Sanders by 1. 2-1 the score down at the Den between Kingborough and Glenorchy, and Riverside still leading the Zebras 2-1. Lonnie City up 3-0. Olympia up 3-0 over Lonnie City at half-time.
For the uninitiated, if it's a tie, Barnard wins on countback?
They both split
They both split it, okay.
Golden boot each. No countbacks.
Yeah, fair decision.
I just want to say amount of goals.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, maybe every goal they score gets rated on degree of difficulty. What's their XG from those attempts and how far they outperform XG's what they got.
Yeah.
That would be my overly complex and utterly ridiculous way of determining it. But I think giving a trophy each probably works.
Yeah, look, I mean, I did that on a slightly simplified level when looking at Players of the Year the other week, just how many goals they've scored against a particular opposition who's at the bottom, and then how many against the top three,
Yep.
of which they are. Barnard comes out on top of my makeshift XG.
He scored that big hat-trick in the Olympia game, of course, and South Hobart he buried
Hattie.
as well with another one. So,
If you score a Hattie against second and third, it's not bad.
and he'd be hard-pressed to score one against top.
And it's odd because he obviously got that 8 against Clarence, but Sanders has scored more goals against Clarence than Barnard. Barnard got 8 in one game, which I found extraordinary when I checked that the other night.
Yeah, that surprises
Yeah,
me.
Stone looks to take the corner kick. Sison in the area. Barnard was there as well, potentially getting in each other's way. Like a Seljack. That's a very intelligent ball down to the grandstand side. Farrell is there, so's Toby Avinen. The determined looking Kieran Mulroney to go around. Avinen tries to do it with pace, slides one in, but Hamlet couldn't quite get on the end of it. And Pitchford, he's not particularly happy with that clearance, and wisely so. It's gone out for a throw. But yeah, I'm trying to remember the stats. I think it's 11 for Sanders and 10 to go around against Clarence. And then 7 for Barnard against the top 3 and 4 for Sanders. As Stone has bailed me out there. I could have actually explained that in real time, not super quickly.
Either way, two pretty phenomenal seasons from the two front men. Banging in the goals all season. That pair, certainly it looked like Sanders had that wrapped up at the halfway point before Barnard's late surge, and then Sanders is in pretty good form over the last month of the year. Twos. Across to Gorry. Sliding in was Dance. And just showing how slippery the surface is here. Really, once you start going, you go gain some serious meterage on those slides. Here's like a Seljack. Chips it in, looking for Berezanski over his head though, and just the 1 minute extended from Pitchford, and he rolls it on out to Bidwell. South have defended really well today though. Really giving Barnard much opportunity. Yes. The new ball just going a little bit too quickly, I think. Very slightly.
And also going to the... he's just been called to walk back about 15 yards as well. And I don't think it's even Devonport's ball. No, it's not even Devonport's ball.
Dan Brown not overly impressed with the throw, not quite going back where he wanted there.
Championship update as well. Southern Championship, obviously that title still yet to be decided. Both... well, this game's just turning into fast, so I'm going to keep going with the championship results here. Uni and Hobart United are both in front just before half-time.
Good. We will have a full live stream of that decider for you midweek if it is needed to settle University and Hobart United. There's Barnard just in behind him there. Reynolds slides it across for Sison. Sison with a shot. And it's wide of the mark on the left. And the South Hobart defence, I think we're just expecting him to pass it to Barnard and left the shooting lane wide open for him.
Yeah, I think right there they were just thinking of rolling it into his right foot there, right on the 18-yard line, but he decided to go himself. Did the salad artist. And yeah, if both Hobart United and Uni win, they'll be within touching distance of each other for Wednesday night's game, which we will have for you here. And if it's anything like the Beachside Knights game last year, I am more than looking forward to it. We did one championship game last year, did the short highlights version. It was 10 minutes.
Was it last year or the year before?
Knights came back into the league. It was the year before.
I feel like I think that was longer ago than just last year.
I mean, it's been a long season, so well, someone out there can check. But what a game that was. Ryan Thurley. I don't think I've seen someone crunched more in the first half in my life, and then he got sent off.
I just don't know how Beachside didn't win the game.
Yeah.
And a shocker of an own goal costing it. So hopefully we get a similar championship decider. It's been a good little league this year, but in the meantime, Kieran Mulroney just shielding that, and I reckon he's sold that very nicely, Mulroney, because I thought the last touch was off him there.
I think he... don't know if he looked over his shoulder, but Stratos was already running towards the goal kick line there. And there he is, just also giving it a bit of Mike Dean there as well, was Stratos Pomerese and giving out that goal kick, bit of flair.
Yeah, very Dean-esque. And this one's Whipped wide. Bidwell just ran under it in the end and bounces off Toby Havainen. Park.
Good to see, Stratos Plummeridis refereeing this game as we'll cut from that tangent to see Whitehall Hamlet running at the defence.
You're in full championship mode now, aren't you?
It's been a long day.
Got a Mariners game to call before we get to that one, Paul. As Luke Farrell turns off towards goal. He's shielded the ball nicely. Well trapped by Twos and got the shot off too. And then it's a fine shot from Kobe Kemp that nestles in the back of the net. He has two. South Hobart 2-0 up. What an impressive young player this man is.
Oh, we have missed him in NPL Taz, Kobe Kemp. He is a player of supreme quality. And another great long-range shot from him on the left this time, into the bottom corner. Pitchford with no chance despite his best efforts. South going 2-0 up. It's been a professional and impressive display from South so far this afternoon. And Kobe Kemp leading from midfield. One of the best players in the state when fit, Kobe Kemp. Missed him last year due to injury. Trip over to Victoria to start the season, but since he's come back, he's been superb. And there's Hingston looking for the chip through ball down towards Bidwell, rising a bit too high. Will end up getting it back. Ludford. Vinen. Hingston. Fitzgerald in a good pocket of space with Bowman to aim for. It's Max Fitzgerald. Bowman sliding in to the corner, and he's taken quite the divot out of Darcy Street there. Sam 2's doing some running repairs, as is the referee. And look at that, that is huge.
The rain's still very steady. We might see a few more of them before the end of the day. The pitch in pretty good condition, all things considered. Certainly seen it worse at this time of year, but certainly a heavier track today, and the big match tomorrow. Reynolds swings it in. Oh, not dealt with by Wright. Spilled out the back to Hamlet. Hamlet looking for Berezanski, who's giving a good honest chase, but Bidwell always leading back in the race. Pitchford actually to dance. Park. Bidwell. Bidwell punches it straight into Hugh Ludford. Ludford away again. Dogger Brown just calling for the South Boys to get it back down the deck and settle things down a little.
Cleared by Toby Havainen. The goal scorers in the Lackaselja Cup final, which these two sides competed in earlier this season. Sison heading towards the corner flag, manages to get a cross in. Barnard was lurking. Bowman cleared. Hamlet looking for one of Berezanski to be a bit further advanced for the flick on. Pitchford to Hingston. Sison was probably offside. I don't think he was getting to that in any case. Time-wasting tactics starting to be used by Graham Wright.
Interesting little formation shift from Devonport in this half, going to a back three with Park and Dance back there. Reynolds just pushing into midfield, and Sison really bobbing up alongside Miles Barnard now in an extremely advanced role. And Stone goes across to Max Fitzgerald. He timed his run well, but it just eluded him. And coming back the other way is Adam Gorry, looking to spark something on the counter-attack. Not a lot of movement ahead of him, though. Actually, he just drops into the corner for Berezanski. Well read Mulroney. Lost his footing. Still kept the ball, though. Composed defending from the Tasmanian and a striker skipper. Stone rolls it off to Park. To Joel Stone. Tried the nutmeg on Lackaselja. Wasn't having it. Bradley Lackaselja. Joel Stone wins it back off him, though. The two-way work rate, it's an area he's really improved in the last couple of years, I reckon, Joel Stone. Just a really complete midfielder these days. Max Fitzgerald looks up. Carrying into the box. He's got Barnard in the middle. Right, parried it down, but not at the feet of the Fox.
Fox was lurking. He was inside his preferred box of the 6-yard box. Right. He's parried it away from the striker. And there's Reynolds in that more advanced position you talked about earlier. As well to keep the ball. Dance. Crossing it in the Bidwell direction. Cleared away as far as Berezanski. And he has won the foul off Joel Stone. For South scored, all I was going to say. It's good to see Stratos Plumeritas back refereeing a Devonport South game. Nice game to ease him back into the situation between these sides. Maybe ready for next year to take on the Lacka Seljuk Cup final, one of the best referees in the state.
I suspect that's got something to do with it, as Adam Gorry lays it back to Kemp, who's just thinking, pull the trigger every chance he gets, but he got absolutely none of that. Never going to threaten Pitchford with that. Johnstone glides over the ball and rolls it out to Park. Heavy touch from Bidwell. Like I said, just blasted it into his knee. Farrell and Hamlet. And Hamlet brought down unceremoniously there. And a free kick in an area that will make Kobe Kemp's eyes light up, I suspect.
Absolutely. And it'd be very difficult for him to complete the perfect hat trick from a set piece, but I'm sure he'll be looking just a standard old hat trick nonetheless, as this was one of the more obvious fouls you'll ever see from Raph Reynolds. As you mentioned, very much Kobe Kemp direction. And a nice distance out as well. He's got enough space to get it up and over.
Fitchy just getting his wall in order. Up steps Kobe Kemp. Took a couple of little touches and Mulroney sees it behind for a corner.
Always Darcy, and the defender gets its stud on it in that situation. Good idea going at the low ground one as well. Kobe Kemp getting to skid off the surface a bit. And resuming his set piece duty. From the corner. Takes it near post, cleared by the Fox in the box. In the box he'd like to be in though at the moment, as we have a substitution coming up for South Hobart, and is Casper Hallam coming on, and Sam Toos coming off. Another start for Sam Toos. Casper Hallam we've seen plenty of this NPL season, predominantly coming off the bench, including that blistering debut he had against Olympia earlier in the year. There's Berezanski down in the corner flag. Goes the clever back heel. Havainen jinks past another. Stone careful not to foul him here. Toby Havainen gets the shot away. Stone sliding in. Kemp once again. Lacka Seljuk's going to hope that one spins out, and it does. Or a corner kick. Pitchford making sure they can't take the corner without him in goal. It'll be Gorry from the far corner. Goes towards Havainen, flicked on back post, and Hallam, nearly with his first touch of the match, did not make the contact he desired. And Ludford, lovely diagonal towards Gorry, controls it well. It'll fall to Hallam, back to Gorry. Little chip in the Berezanski direction, but Pitchford comfortably claims. Fitzgerald wanting it on the grandstand side. Pitchford with the thunderous drop kick in the Barnard direction. Gets the flick on towards Bidwell, and Bowman sliding in just ahead of his opposing number 4. And Gorry to Berezanski. Onside is Hallam. Great challenge from Dance. Got all ball with that left foot there, sliding in.
Just under hit the pass a fraction there, and it just allowed Dance to make that recovering challenge. Did it well. Strikers' defence have really been under pressure in the last 10 minutes or so. South firing off plenty of shots and some good shot blocks from this yellow wall at the back, but they're going to need to click into gear at the other end if they're going to get anything out of this one. 2-0 with 27 to play. South looking like they're going to finish their season on a high unless the strikers can find something. But again, it's South on the attack before Mulroney skews this one away over the head of Berezanski. And again, the strikers skipper just blasts it off. Sneaking it away from the likes of Berezanski and Hamlet. Pretty pacey front three at the moment with Berezanski, Hallam and Hamlet. This is Gorry. Farrell. Pavona made a really good run, but they just couldn't settle the ball in midfield and get it to him. And now Joel Stone and Miles Barnard were potentially in at the back, but Jack Bowman did ever so well. Oh, well blocked Fitzgerald. Stone with the preemptive slide challenge block. And in the end, out of play. Big fan of that one on FIFA, just hitting the X button, just in case they decide to take that touch into that area.
Yeah, it seems like someone was smashing the X button there as 5 of them had a go, and eventually Raph Reynolds made contact. Here's Kemp trying to run down the line, off Park. No, and he's come off Kemp last.
I always confuse PlayStation players.
Yeah.
It's X on my Xbox.
Circle.
Yeah, circle. The more commonly known parlance.
I was rolling with it, but as a PlayStation user, I was slightly confused.
Yeah, I thought I recognised that look. He's totally wrong here, isn't he? No, I'm not.
Usually,
Ben Hamlet swings it across.
Usually it comes the other way.
Oh, here's a chance for Kobe Kemp if he can settle it down. Joel Stone across to apply the pressure. Just took too long to get down to Kemp in the end. Hallam can't get behind Dance. And again, a throw in. It's all being played up this end of the ground at the moment.
Certainly is, and again, Devonport not winning the territory battle, which admittedly they didn't do in the first game of the season here many, many months ago. On that occasion, they managed to keep it to 0-0 and then steal a winner at the end. And this time, going to have to come back from 2 down. Hasn't quite been the fortress, Darcy Street, this year. That's a foul, surely, from Dance on Hallam. Protesting his innocence. Certainly a foul. Intelligent work from Dance. It's not, as I was saying, not quite the fortress it's been. Olympia managing to steal a point from a losing position. Surely Dance isn't questioning that decision.
Apparently he is. Anyway, free kick for Adam Gorry here. Dance back to defend at the set piece, and Gorry bends it in. There is Dance to see it away. And finds Joel Stone. Kobe Kemp won it back, and then well done by Gorry. Berezanski to Casper Hallam. Hallam combining with Berezanski fires, and Pitchford just tips it away. And steers it across towards Park, who'll clear the area. Again, Ludford wins it high up the field, and Devonport just can't get the ball at the moment. They'll get the throw in here, but they're not going to get any goals for Barnard if they can't get any possession.
Well, speaking of goals for Devonport, I've just had the first note ever received to me under the table since about year 7 from our advocate colleague. I was hoping it wasn't the last one I got in year 7, and it was I love you, which luckily it wasn't. It was a very handy stat to say the Strikers have scored in every game so far this year in the NPL.
Well.
And they haven't yet.
Yeah, here's something to keep an eye on. Could they be shut out for the first time all year? They've been very hard. That doesn't surprise me at all,
no.
Thinking on it. Dropped too many points. There's Joel Stone. Bends this one, but didn't get enough purchase on it. Wasn't cleared in the right direction, though. Fell out to Raph Reynolds, who tries to go around the outside of the line and gets the better of him, too. Dance couldn't steer it in. Barnard's lurking. The pinball's around before Mulroney has a hit. Park. Everyone just flinging themselves at the ball. Still, they attack. And eventually, Graham Wright will collect.
We'll be grateful to have the ball in his arms there, Graham Wright, because that was pinballing around like crazy. Mulroney, Hallam knocking it into Mulroney's path. Wasn't the greatest move I've ever seen, but fortunately came to naught. Just looking down on Devonport's bench, they've got a lot of youth to bring on. It doesn't look like anyone's in a great urgency to warm up. As Gorry safely heads that one out of play. But yeah, Strikers' only league loss this year, 2-1 to the Zebras earlier on. And then that's a foul on Hallam again. Certainly getting amongst it since being brought on, Casper Hallam. as free kick heaved in the Hamlet direction. Mulroney, well, I don't think he wanted that to go towards Pitchford, but comes out well in the end. And the long punt down the field. Barnard, Fitzgerald waiting for the flick on. He'd run inside, it'll fall to Stone. Wanting to go around like a Seljack. He's just gone without the ball. Reynolds. Back to Mulroney. Reynolds is open for an option, and that's where he goes. Striker's almost playing with a front four at the moment. Syson's that high up, and Bidwell and Fitzgerald keeping a high position as well. That one ending up with Havinen. Dance off the shin pad, back to the keeper. Knew what he was doing there.
Well, the rain has got even heavier. It's getting really loud on the roof, and the wind is now up too, which is just making it even tougher for the players out there. Certainly for Pitchford, you can see he's trying to punch it and keep it reasonably low. Barnard competing there against Kobe Kemp, but again, South just winning the ball back. Turns it over to Dance on this occasion. Strikers throw in, they've got 20 to play. Samson Juju perhaps being prepared to come on for South Hobart.
Well,
waiting to the last possible moment to get his jacket off, and I can't blame him for that.
And then having some issues with that as well, finally getting off. Well, it's certainly not Mark Moncourt coming on. Bit of an age difference there as Hamlet will take his bow after 70 minutes. We'll likely be seeing him in action here tomorrow as well.
As Smith Schuster comes on. So if you've got the searing face down the flanks. Samson Juju, another one of these youngsters from the Moulton Soccer School. They just keep churning him out. A couple of cameos from him this year. One to keep an eye on for future years for sure. They won it back here, South Hobart. Marazansky. Kemp. Really give Hallam a shot at that.
Yeah, as you say, South School keeps tuning them out. Surprised not to see Noah Gardner on the bench. Made his debut last week, the youngster. Made his training squad the other week. Quite selected in the final squad, but a great experience for the youngster as Park under all sorts of pressure from the newly introduced Juju. Ludford whacked that one into the grandstand. Park up to Barnard. Fitzgerald will receive his own pass like a Seljack with a good challenge. Now Samson Juju to run at the defence. Heavy touch will lead in Mulroney. And I'm thankful that Juju got a touch on that clearance because that was heading straight for us. Up here in the grandstand as another substitution is being made. And it looks like Kynan West of the Strikers. And Dance coming off. I'm going to assume Reynolds is going to go back into the fence and West will buzz around up top. And then Sison moving back to where Reynolds was. Not quite the moving chess pieces we had here last week over a substitution, but another two shifts on the parking position.
The full volleyball rotation last week, everyone move a spot.
Yeah. It's going to be out by Havinen. Go and watch the Tassie Echidnas if you want some off-season action.
This one's snuck in there. I'm sure our colleague will appreciate the shout out there. Todd Hingston. It's not a little short there, like a Seljack by Hallam's pass, and the Strikers win the ball back. Sison stretching, but couldn't get it. And Hingston just rather late on Bowman, who argues the point, but won't get anything there. So it'll be a Devonport throw. 17 minutes plus stoppage time left in their NPL seasons. Is there a late goal here for Devonport? Will they be shut out for the first time? Hingston shifts it forward. Giving chase isn't really where he wants to be. He wants to be the end of this. As he just turns and swings it across, looking for Joel Stone. Away by Toby Havinen. Juju lofts it into the middle, but couldn't find Berezanski. Connor Park. Devonport camped in South Hobart's final third just at the moment. It's been a rare occurrence today. So this one's cut out by Lakaseljak. Slides in. Berezanski. It's taken down by Reynolds. That'll be an advantage. Play on, and here comes Casper Hallam having a run at Mulroney, the youngster. And he couldn't get past the veteran defender, the experienced customer at the back. Just getting total control there. Sprightly youngster coming at him. It did not bother Mulroney. Snuck the leg out and won the ball. West competing with Ludford. Sison. Good determination, but a great sliding challenge from Huey Ludford. Showing good form here. He's just showing signs he's going to warm into the futsal season nicely, Ludford. This is promising.
Not warming into tomorrow's match or Tuesday night's futsal season. There's Stone running down the sideline. Havainen taking the ball and the turf with him to concede a corner.
Boom, new signing, Paul. Got a sprocket.
Yeah, look.
Got him on a permanent after a loan deal last year, just a few weeks. No, permanent addition. He looks in good metal.
Goal or outfield?
He'll just sit himself at the back, I reckon.
Yeah.
Stone. Reynolds. His shot blocked. And blocked by his own teammate, Barnard. And you just... hang on, boys. I'm the one taking the shots here.
Maybe just trying to get the glance off the chest of after Reynolds' shot there, Barnard. Don't mind trying everything.
Jeez, it'd be the dubious goals committee afternoon sitting potentially going into play. There can be no Monday for it.
Odd.
This one's cleared away. West. Oh, lovely ball. West finds Stone. Stone sends it over the head of Barnard. Mulroney back in towards him. And this is again pounced upon by Stone. And South Hobart able to extricate themselves. Havainen with a raking ball, looking for Adam Gorry. Pitchford well and truly off his line, and in the end manages to stay in the box too.
It's a very good use of the body, or Adam Gorry's body in that case, from Pitchford to keep himself in there. Yeah, look, I wouldn't want the dubious goals panel involved this afternoon, especially with where everyone is. It'd be especially convened probably the casino boardroom maybe beforehand.
Blackjack table?
Yeah, I was going to say blackjack table. Maybe have a roulette.
It's already had one sitting this week.
Yeah, of course.
Controversy reigning there, but did take a deflection off Mr. Hedge. And that was the referee view. Has to be very conclusive to overrule. It was not certainly a conclusive look to overrule that. The super slow-mo seemed to indicate a deflection off of Hedge.
Schnicko used as well.
That's one for next year's budget. Just got to work that in there. Hotspot. Hotspot Ultradge, I want it all.
Maybe just get Joel Wilson to come as well.
He's sitting every bloody week if you got him officiating games as this one swung in. Devonport still probing away in the final 15 minutes of the season here, trying to find a goal. They have not been kept off the score sheet all year. This man's been tremendous today, Toby Havainen. He's had a great season. He's really come on as a player. And he's playing some fine football. Berezanski puts it out in front of Adam Gorry. Gorry goes looking for Hallam. Well defended by Reynolds. Hallam kept his feet and then knocked it back. Gorry just being bid well to it. And it'll be a throw in for the Strikers. And another sub. And so that'll be the end of Kobe Kemp's day. Perhaps he's just being wrapped in cotton wool for the Mariners game upcoming. So he comes off here for South Hobart, and Riley Morton set to come on for him. The next of the Morton name, this club, obviously a big name at South Hobart. Well, best wishes to Nick Morton after that horrific leg break he suffered a couple of weeks ago. An absolute shock of that one. Hopefully the recovery goes well. Good to have the Stars, or indeed anyone copping an injury like that.
I don't know what the timeline is, but I do hope he's available for next season at some point. It was a pretty ugly looking challenge, incident I should say, as Yeah, he was still in good spirits here last week. He had prime position down by the... so that's a foul on Stone. Eventually called back. Definite shirt pull and clip there by the South Hobart trainer. But yeah, Nick Morton had the prime seating position here last week and was in good spirits, so all that slice of cheese wish him well for that recovery in the off-season. So we hope to get him back as the striker's definitely going for this one. Pitchford's gone all the way up to just about halfway to take this free kick. I reckon this one is going to be thumped in the Barnard direction. Pitchford goes in that direction. It is Barnard over the top. He hasn't had much of a sniff so far this afternoon. It's the Fox. He was not far away at all.
He's done pretty well, right. Oh, I thought he was beat there. I thought it was just going to nestle over the top of him in the back of the net, but just wide. A relief man there, the Scotsman, as the Fox comes close to knotting out the Golden Boot race with 11 minutes left. Last I looked, it was still 2-1 over at KG5, so one goal all he needs for now. But he's been starved of service for the most part today, the Fox. Here's Casper Hallam. Tries to take on Mulroney. And Mulroney thought he won it, but he might have just been doing another cell job, which he did ever so well last time.
Oh, I thought he was doing a cell job there. I thought he kicked that out of play, and it seems like he did.
Jeez, he's good at it. Genuinely inclined to almost believe him. It's worked once.
I don't want to play poker against him ever with a good game face like that.
Certainly not, as Gorry bends in the corner. Roll there, spills out the back, and Plummeridis has spotted a foul.
The loudest I've heard Dogger Brown so far. It's taken 80 minutes. He's certainly been getting his step count up, but hasn't been terribly vocal this afternoon, particularly by previous match efforts. Imploring them all to get back as quickly as possible, especially as Bidwell is pushing so far up the park, and now Barnard with one to chase, and the touchline will just beat him at the moment. But needing, as it stands, just the one goal to tie the Golden Boot race. He'll be getting a bit chipper in this last 10 or so minutes. South, unfortunately, in no real rush to take the throw in. Enjoying Dogger Brown's stance there, more reminiscent of like an American sports coach. Going down on all haunches. Examining from the sideline as Juju can't quite keep that one under control. Berezanski, Stone, Reynolds, Devonport with a chance to break. West making a good run, and that's where Hingston goes. Controls it well, does West. Lays it off to Barnard, but Stone just over the top. Barnard doing the team thing and letting that one roll towards Joel Stone. Good purchase and not far away at all.
Yeah, I think past just eluding Barnard, realised he wasn't going to get it, and Stone went, well, I've scored about half a dozen from this range already this year. Why not add one more to the highlights reel? Not quite able to pick it out on this occasion. But certainly one to keep an eye on tonight. Certainly one of the favourites for the various awards. In a sparkling season, really since the midway point of last year. He's just been an utterly dominant player.
Yeah, I do think the first round of matches, I do think Jordan Scott probably edged it, but over the course of the entire season and the way Stone has turned it on and scored some match-winning goals, he'd be my choice if it was only my choice. But we'll see what everyone ends up deciding on tonight. But yeah, I think he's been the best so far this season.
Yeah, well, I think he was at the top of both our ballots for the Walter Place Media Award, one of the various awards tonight. He might have been top of the list of the fella behind us as well, so I reckon that bodes pretty well for him. This one's chipped over the top, smashed away by Ludford. Mulroney with a powerful header. Stone just chips it up over the top. He's still got a hold of it here, Stone. Hingston He's at forward. Fitzgerald couldn't quite keep it in play.
That chip was absolutely filthy from Joel Stone. The way he just lobbed that over his opposing number, just controls it on a absolutely pouring down rainy day towards the end of the game to whip that out. He's some showman, is Joel Stone. He didn't make that sub the strikers. Maybe next out. It's Fitzgerald. Almost runs into the brick wall of Ludford. Park towards Hingston. Fitzgerald turned over, now south. Tried to get on the attack. It's Mulroney striding into space. Wanted to find Barnard, not on the same wavelength. Ludford, safety first. Reynolds may want to keep that in. No, let it go out for a throw. Mulroney, Reynolds, south, getting back in numbers, and Devonport trying to keep as many players as possible. Up front, under hit pass. Juju turns Park well. Havainen keeps going. Mulroney's across, Berezanski inside. Still going, Toby Havainen. His eyes lit up. It's he doesn't mind scoring in the 80-odd minute against the Strikers, does Toby Havainen. Not successful on this occasion as the Strikers will make a sub. And it looks like the salad artist, Daniel Sison, coming off. And coming on for the Strikers, number 22.
Charles Bidwell. Here's a name to keep an eye on for future NPL Tasmania seasons. This kid can play. He's obviously we've seen what Eddie's done. Anna Lee in the state team as well. And Charles Bidwell, a very impressive young player. As just the Bidwells just churn out footballers evidently.
Can he meme? That is the question.
I don't know if he can meme, but I remember seeing a junior training session up at Valley Road a couple of years ago, and there's just one kid that just stood out to me. He's just like, wow, who's this kid? This fella's going to be impressive. And he's told the name was Charles Bidwell. Keep an eye on him. He's been on the bench for most of this year. Pretty tough squad to crack into, but he's one we'll see plenty of in the coming years. Don't you worry about that. This one's chipped over the top. Graham Wright.
What position does he normally play?
You think he generally plays kind of attacking roles.
Okay.
I remember in the referees game last year, he came on against Hobart United and was an absolute standout. Just sneakily snuck into the team from the referees. Not sure how many games he did officiate, but was kept under wraps, that one. Tony Peart's secret weapon.
Andy, he's just given away a pretty obvious foul as his first interaction here today, but look forward to seeing more of him. I'm deferring to you there. I think I've seen about 10 minutes of him, which was a few weeks ago when I was up at Valley Road in the champ game that was on afterwards. I admit I was too busy salivating over pulled pork as Hallam whips the cross in. Goes for Raul, flicked on. Pitchford comfortably saves. Two of them there for South. One, the other was Morton as well. Pitchford's low kick. Reynolds flicks on. Bidwell, lovely work to go around Morton. Fitzgerald's offside by 4 yards. West use up some energy to chase down Wright, but 3 minutes plus stoppage time for the Strikers to not have their first shutout of the season. Or in the NPL season, obviously the only other time they haven't scored would have been the Lucky Cup final. As Fitzgerald coming in, nearly causing confusion. Graham Wright running out, and Pomeritis is blown for the foul on Toby Havainen. Jeez, I hope he gets up, Toby Havainen.
Goal at KG5.
Dun, 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 dun.
The Zebras. Nicky Edwards. Still won the difference.
Some match hanging out at KG5 at the moment, but another one who coming off the bench. Last sub for the Strikers. It's Hingston coming off. Number 11 for the Strikers coming on.
Stefan Tentari. The youth getting a bit of a run out here at the end for Devonport. Not going to win this game, but I don't think they'll mind so much. Been a phenomenal season from them. And swept all before them in the NPL to defend their crown, wrapping the league up some weeks ago. Some nice work there by Morton. Found Hallam, Berezanski. The future is now for South Hobart. The youth movement in attack. Samson Juju, Riley Morton, Sam Berezanski, Casper Hallam. The average age would be about 16 there.
Yeah, okay, that is a foul. Didn't think that was a foul at first glance, but Reynolds clearly touched. And yeah, we were commenting the other week that Hallam, I think the front line is Hallam, Lakaselchuk and Berezanski. Now adding a few more. Also, as I mentioned, seen Noah Gardner this year as well. A couple of other youngsters around the traps at South. With no Kobe Kemp on the field, it looks like it'll be Gorry to take the free kick. Adam Gorry, curling effort into the back of the striker's wall. And a goal kick is given. Well, that is probably the most ridiculous decision I've seen in a long time.
What?
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm legitimately speechless at that. I've no idea.
yeah. Got me beat anyway. Maybe he wants Barnard to win the Golden Boot and wants him to get possession back. That's a strange decision, that one, anyway. I don't think it's going to matter too much at this point.
If you are going to have a hilarious decision, 89th minute of a game already decided on the last game weekend of the season.
Probably when to do it.
Yeah.
This one's to Berezanski. He spies Juju in some space, but it's well blocked by Connor Park. And now Joel Stone just backing into Juju there. Down the line. Again intercepted by Toby Havainen. He's probably won that battle with Eddie Bidwell today. Berezanski. Lovely ball into open field for the onrushing Adam Gorry. He's got time to shoot. And he raises it over the bar.
A lovely bit of skill all around from both sides there in the build-up. And Adam Gorry had half a Darcy Street there for him. And another one over the top as Pitchford eager to get this one back in. Doesn't get the purchase he wants. Park does go out of play before bending back in. Vinen back to his feet after that knock. Throws it towards Farrell. Hallam is out on the right-hand side. Has Bidwell for company. The Charles variety. Hallam going around the outside. Still going. Casper Hallam lays it off to Berezanski. Save Pitchford. And over the top from Berezanski. I thought Hallam was going to do it all himself there.
Might have been better served. Trying to. Very unselfish here from Hallam. On the ground, just knocks it back. Yeah, probably did the right thing, but Berezanski just needing a little more power and direction on the shot there. Couldn't find a way past Nathan Pitchford. It's another good save.
Pitchford. Oh, I didn't know if they wanted the advantage there, but it'll go back. And one last free kick opportunity for the Strikers. I'd be aiming right for the head of Barnard. Pitchford now going to take the free kick inside his own half. Much as Devonport's urgency. Everyone forward for Devonport. Well, I think Bidwell's being told to cool it a little. And it was Pitchford. Eyes only for one man. Goes over the top towards Mulroney. Fitzgerald. Barnard is on the 6-yard line. Hallam clears that one. And we will still play. Quick look at the watch from Plumeritis. Fitzgerald. They cannot cross it in at the moment. Will South that they'll get another chance.
They will, but Matthew Sanders has just scored at KG5 and he's too clear. It's over. I don't think the Fox has two in 20 seconds in him. He's good, but that would be even stretching his abilities. So it's been settled. Stone. Oh, he's not going to score now, is he? Oh, I'll tell you what, if he has got a touch on that, it's going to be controversial. The flag's been raised for a foul by the linesman. Devonport is celebrating. The AR's flag is still raised. And Plumeritis will come across and discuss it.
Well, I was immediately looking at the AR. He put his flag up instantly. I don't know what he's seen that Plumeritis hasn't.
Well, a foul on Graham Wright would be what the South supporters are suggesting. It's what the linesman presumably is flagged for. You're right, the flag was up straight away. And there'll be a discussion here. I'll tell you what, I'm glad the Golden Boot isn't still in play and Barnard got a touch on this, or it would be controversy centrally. There's just a chat here. Aaron Stratos.
There we go.
And there we go. Foul has been adjudged. Charles Stone turns around and says, oh, come on. But, in the end, it would seem like the Strikers are going to be shut out for the first time all year. They damn near weren't. They had the ball in the back of the net, but not to be.
And there's no play on call. Fitzgerald still going. Lovely slide challenge from Bowman, and that will be the end of the match. South Hobart running out 2-0 victories over the champion Devonport Strikers. A superb game by Kobe Kemp. Two absolute worldy finishes from Tasmania's central mid and South central mid. Done the damage over the Strikers. As we have a look at that second half goal from Kobe Kemp. A lovely finish into the side netting. Nothing the keeper could do about that. And really on the balance of territory and shots, you would think South deserved the victory here this afternoon. But Strikers over the course of the season have been fantastic. Losing just the 2 games and running out comfortable league winners. They'll look ahead towards the Maitland Magpies in a couple of weekends' time with a rare defeat under their belts. They did look a little slow to start with, did the Strikers. A bit bogged down, shocking conditions for football. And really, South deserved winners.
Yeah, they finished their season on a positive note. They'll be happy with that after a couple of flat performances. They've got the Central Coast Mariners on Tuesday night at Lightwood Park. A number of these players will be playing against the Mariners for Tasmania tomorrow. Do get along to Darcy Street for that one. Should be a cracking encounter as the best of Tassie come up against A-League opposition. But from us here at the Slice of Cheese team for the NPL Tasmania season, it's not us done for season 2019, but it is the NPL Tasmania done for 2019. It has been a pleasure bringing it to you. Thanks for your calling this year, Paul.
Not a problem, Andrew. Thank you for having me, and it's a pleasure of always to come and commentate this great sport, this great spectacle that NPL Tas is. Looking forward to next year already.
Indeed, and to Ash, Vlasta, Charlie, the whole Bion Stream team who beam out these pictures every week, a big thank you. It's been a pleasure bringing this NPL season to you. The Devonport Strikers might have been beaten on the day, but not on the season. They've defended their title in style. The Devonport Strikers, South Hobart, wave their fans farewell with a victory. But it was the year of the Strikers once again. And we now move to the awards night this evening at Rest Point to see who gets their hands on the hardware. That's a Slice of Cheese. It's bye for now.